There comes a time in every successful man's life when even the greatest applause begins to echo like silence. Here at Booksituation, we dive into stories that go beyond success, into silence, truth, and self-realization. What happens when you have everything, money, luxury, status, but your heart still whispers, "This isn't it." This is where Om Swami's story begins. In this video, we take you through his raw, honest journey, from a multimillionaire living in Australia to a barefoot monk meditating in the snowy caves of the Himalayas. This is not just a memoir, it's a mirror that might show you your own truth. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Birth of Ambition. Om Swami was born into a modest Hindu family in India. No luxury, no connections, just a boy with big dreams. Even as a child, he was curious, driven, and spiritually inclined. At the age of 5, he memorized Sanskrit shlokas. By 11, he was meditating regularly. But poverty doesn't allow much room for enlightenment. So, he made a silent vow to conquer success first, and then return to spirituality. This duality would shape his life for decades. Chapter 2. Millionaire before 30. Swami moved abroad, studied hard, and began building his empire. In Australia, he ran a tech company that made him a multimillionaire before the age of 30. Fast cars, designer suits, business class flights, champagne meetings. He had it all. To the world, he had won. But inside, he felt hollow. He describes walking into 5-star hotels and feeling like an actor in someone else's movie. He had chased success to the mountaintop, only to realize the peak was cold and lonely. One evening, while sitting alone in his luxurious apartment, he asked himself, "Is this really the purpose of life? Or have I just been playing a role that everyone else expected?" That night, a decision was born. Chapter 3. The Great Renunciation. He gave it all up. The wealth, the company, the identity. He returned to India, sold everything, and disappeared into the Himalayas. No one, not even close family, knew where he went. Imagine this. A man who once had multiple passports, personal assistants, and stock portfolios, now meditating alone in a frozen cave near Badrinath, wearing just 2 robes, surviving on alms, facing snowstorms, wild animals, and silence. There was no Instagram, no audience, no validation, only discipline, tapasya, and the raw confrontation with the self. He meditated for up to 20 hours a day, mastered mantras, and fasted for weeks. The spiritual path wasn't peaceful, it was brutal, but it stripped away all layers of ego. He writes, "Until you die to who you think you are, you cannot be reborn into who you truly are." Chapter 4. The Awakening. Months into his Himalayan retreat, something changed. Not in the sky, not in the trees, but within him. His mind, once filled with ambition and noise, became silent. In that silence, a new intelligence arose, still but infinitely aware. he began to experience what the scriptures describe as inner bliss, Ananda. There was no audience, no claps, no titles. Yet he felt whole, maybe for the first time. This transformation didn't happen overnight. He suffered, physically, mentally, emotionally. But every suffering carved something from his old self, until all that remained was a seeker. Chapter 5. Return to the World. After years in isolation, Om Swami returned, but not to the world of stock markets, to serve. He started sharing his wisdom, not as a guru, but as a fellow traveler. His speeches weren't about magic powers or religious rituals. They were about clarity, truth, and the courage to look within. He founded an ashram in Himachal Pradesh, where he lives even today, writing, teaching, and guiding seekers. Importantly, he never claims superiority. He says, "You don't have to be a monk to be spiritual. You just have to be honest with yourself." Chapter 6. The Essence of the Memoir. If Truth Be Told is not a book about miracles. It's a book about discipline, truth, and the deep, often painful work of inner transformation. Swami doesn't romanticize monkhood. He shows its beauty and brutality. The freezing nights, the hunger, the loneliness, but also the freedom. The freedom to no longer need validation. The freedom from labels. The freedom from self-deception. You realize you don't need to renounce the world to feel peace. You need to renounce your attachment to the world. Chapter 7. Lessons that stay with you. Here are some timeless truths from the book. Success without inner clarity is a noisy prison. You don't need more. You need less distraction. The mind is a servant, not a master. Discipline is the true form of devotion. We suffer most when we resist who we really are. One of the most moving lines in the book reads, "I didn't give up everything to find God. I gave up everything to find myself. And in doing so, I found both." Final thoughts. This book hits different. It doesn't shout. It doesn't sell you happiness. It whispers something far more powerful. Truth. Whether you're a trader, a CEO, a student, or just someone trying to slow down, If Truth Be Told is a reminder that your life doesn't need to be perfect to be meaningful. It just needs to be real. You may not leave for the Himalayas, but maybe you'll leave behind a part of yourself that no longer serves you. And that, too, is liberation. If this story touched something inside you, consider exploring more such journeys with us. We create content that doesn't just inform, it transforms. Subscribe to stay connected with truth, clarity, and inner freedom.